Yo, salam YouTube citizens. Today we are diving into the debate of Arab identity. Well, what is an Arab? Why is the falafel so crispy? Why is shisha so mesmerizing? And why the hummus flows like, well, hummus? The Arab identity is one of the most politicized identity where in one hand, you have pan-Arabists who want to unite the Arab world, and the other hand, they are the ethno-nationals brainwashed by the Zionist media in Arab countries who want to remove themselves from the Arab identity. So, this is a problem, and it's based on ignorance, and in this video, I'll actually tell you what is a definition of an Arab, and the types of Arabs based on heritage, the two debated origins of the original Arabs, and lastly, my conclusion. So, if you want to uncover the secret hidden identity politics of the Arab world, at the end of this video, keep those eyes glued to the screen until the very last second. Thank you and subscribe. So let's go into the video. First of all, Arabs are human beings from the progeny of Adam and Eve. Yes, atheist. No animal can evolve into having free will like us, humans. They are the date-loving, camel-riding, sand N-word residing on planet Earth. And surprisingly, they have their positives and negatives like the rest of humans. Unlike the Zionist media, which tries to portray Arabs as being always negative. So, the modern usage, according to Google, it embraces any of the Arabic-speaking people living in the vast region from Mauritania on the Atlantic coast of Africa to southwestern Iran, including the entire Maghreb of North Africa, Egypt and Sudan, the Arabian Peninsula, the Levant, and Mesopotamia. Which means the ancient people such as the Babylonians, the Egyptians, the Nubians. What? The Nubians? Yes, the Nubians. The Himyarites, the Akkadians, the Phoenicians, the Canaanites, the Carthaginians, the Nabateans, the Palmyrines, etc., etc., are the ancestors of the modern day Arabs. Right? Let me get this straight. So, these people actually look different, dress different, sound different, their cuisines are different, even their dance are different, and have different tradition and custom. It's because of the history of Islamic expansion, simple and plain. And because of this, Arab is a pan-ethnic group, just like the Europeans or Latinos. An example, an ethnic German cannot claim the Athenian or Greek history just because they are all European history. And it's the same for the Arab world, but nevertheless, genetic-wise, the people of the Middle East and North Africa actually are not that different genetically. An average Moroccan doesn't stand out in a bazaar in Muscat or a Lebanese person standing in a metro in Algiers. The Middle East and North African genealogy is just a melting pot of various Neolithic farmers that intermarried and bled into the modern people found in the Arab world, such as the Natufians or the Levant farmer, the Anatolian farmer, the Iranian farmer or the Zagros farmer, and the Ibo-Mauritians in case of North Africans, to name a few. The thing is, the Arab identity is a pan-Afro-Asiatic ethnicity that united the Semites of the Middle East and the Hamites of North Africa. The reason why Arabization was successful to non-Arab Semites and Hamites is because of the foundation of the Semitic or Afro-Asiatic languages. It's because they spoke Semitic languages and Arabic was the final seal of the languages, and that's why the people of the Levant, North Africa were easily Arabized, unlike non-Semitic speaking Middle Easterners such as the Turks and the Iranians. So it's a good thing that the Middle World was united under the banner of the Arab identity. But I want to clarify some things about Arabization. It wasn't forced Arabization like most people think. The Maghreb actually Arabized themselves by local empires and sultanates like the Almohads, And same with Yemen, who originally spoke Himyarite. It was mainly due to Islam as well as culture because Arabic was the language of learning. Persia also wrote their works in Arabic after the conquest, but were not Arabized when Persia became independent centuries later, even though Persia was under direct Arab rule for centuries, while the Maghreb, North Africa, were independent. This is because the local Persia ruler did not Arabize the state. Cities in the Maghreb like Fez, Casablanca, Rabat were Arabic speaking while the rural areas remained Berber. Arabic languages is more like the English languages as a sign of civilization and development. There are actually only one example of forced Arabization, and that was in Egypt by a single Fatimid Caliph named Al-Hakim, who banned Coptic as well as food like molochia and created the Druze religion to make himself a godlike figure. And to top it off, I am sure that if Islam was revealed in the Babylonian language, all Arab countries today will be having a Babylonian tongue. It is certain that all the people of the region originally belong to the Semitic race and their languages are closely related. The language of any people can spread easily if it is available to it. The ingredients are the same as those possessed by the Arabic language. While preserving some privacy for each dialect, the Arabic language is divided into southern, which is Tihama, Yemen, Hadramaut, and Oman; the northern, which include the Najd, the Gulf, the Hijaz, the Levant, the Iraq, and Sinai; and of course the North African and Egyptian dialects. And each and every people actually have loanwords from their ancestors. And the types of Arabs according to heritage are divided into six: the Yemenite, the Khalijis, the Levantines or the Al-Shami, the Egyptians, the Sudanese, and lastly the Maghrebis. And who are the original Arabs? There are two schools of thoughts, two debates, and two theories about the OG Arabs. First, there is no debate about these, the most ancient ones, the people of Ad, the giants, Thamud, Jadis, Abdel, Jerhom. These are the extinct Arabs destroyed before Islam. So, theory numero uno about the original Arabs is that the original Arabs came from southern Levant and northern Arabia and Arabized the Semitic tribes in the Gulf. With the help of Islam, then Arabized the whole Middle East and North Africa over time. And the second theory that the original Arabs after the early ones are the Qahtanis, sons of Qahtan bin Abir bin Shakhin bin Arfakjeth bin Sam. So they are originally from the descendants of Sam, son of Noah, and the rest are those who acquired Arabic and mixed in lineage with Arabs. They are called the Adnanis or Nazarenes or Ma'adis, the descendants from Ismail, son of Ibrahim or Abraham in lineage. It is narrated that Ismail married a woman named Rakhlage from Jurhom and learned Arabic thereafter. So let me explore these theories and let me know your opinions down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. According to this theory, the original Arabs originated from the southern Levant, an area stretching from Sinai in Egypt to the Jordanian desert, through parts of southern Iraq and almost to Kuwait. The first recorded Arab in history was known as Dindibu, who existed around 850 before Christ or possibly earlier. Arabs existed throughout the region, including the Jordanian desert and other parts of the Levant. They were a minority in Palestine and the ancient Israelite kingdoms, and even Egypt, as the Romans actually referred to Egypt as Egypto-Arabia. The Arabian Peninsula was one of the last places to be called Arabia. The people in Central Arabia initially spoke Semitic languages, part of the Afro-Asiatic language family, which includes Arabic, Hebrew, Canaanite, and Aramaic. However, They are not yet identifying themselves as Arab until the original Arabs from the Levant began to Arabize the peninsula. Century later, with the emergence of Islam, Arab conquerors spread the Arabic languages and dialect, reinforcing its use in areas where it was already spoken, such as the Levant, North Africa, including Egypt and Sudan, and Iraq. So, to add to this theory, there are stories on how people at the time of Abraham used to send their children to Bedouins to learn Arabic properly. So, this can indicate that Arabic existed back then, but it wasn't the main language. But it was big enough for children to want to learn it, and when Ismail, son of Ibrahim, migrated from Mesopotamia to Mecca, he thought the people there were Arabic. Not that Arabic was not a language there altogether, but it wasn't as widespread, and Ismail made it more official, so to speak. Some Arab historians say that Ismail was the first person to speak Arabic. This, while not true, does make sense because he came from the Levant region with this new language. So, it makes sense when they think that he is the first person to speak it, but in reality, he was the carrier, not the creator. Also, interestingly, people in the Arabian Peninsula also used to send their children to Bedouins to learn Arabic. At the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, much like the people in Mesopotamia. So it seems that it was a traditional across the Levant and the Arabian Peninsula region. The Qahtani Arabs are a group of Arab tribes that trace their ancestry back to Qahtan, a legendary figure in Arab genealogy. According to Arab tradition, Qahtan was a descendant of Ismail, a son of Abraham or Ibrahim, and is considered to be the ancestor of several Arabian tribes. The Qahtani Arabs are believed to have originated from the southern regions of the Arabian Peninsula, particularly Yemen, and migrated to various parts of the Arab world. They are considered one of the two main branches of the Arab tribes, the other being the Adnanites, in which they come from the first two sons of Ismail, or Ishmael. Nebayath and Qadar are considered to be the most important in Arabian history. The Qeturites, descendants of Qadar, were the first to be referred to as Arabs and formed a confederation of tribes in the deserts of Sinai in Egypt, northern Arabia, and southern Levant. They were known for their trade and plunder, and the Qahtani Arabs have played a significant role in the history and culture of the Arabian Peninsula and have contributed to the formation of various Arab societies and civilization. Actually, my conclusion is both theories make sense. The original Arabs from the Levant in Theory 1 can actually trace their ancestry to Qahtan. But most importantly, before the Arab identity emerged, everyone in the Middle East was Semitic speaking at one point, and their cousins in North Africa were Hamites. And the Arab identity actually united us. There is no such thing as a real Arab or cultured Arab. If your nationality has a Semitic speaking background, consider yourself as a real Arab. I actually am from Yemeni descent. My ancestors spoke Sabaik or Himyarite or other South Semitic languages. And now Yemenis are Arabs and we are proud of it. So should the rest of the Arab world, regardless of your non-Arab ancestry or heritage. Just like the French before Roman colonization who spoke Gaelic, and now they are speaking a Romance language. This shows that our history shapes our modern world. And if you are a Porthos, I mean someone who loves learning about other people's cultures and ethnicities, like Alexander the Great, in which made him conquer the whole of the known world, consider subscribing. Thank you very much and I will see you next